freaking Streamlabs updated again.
Loki's Michael Waldron is writing Heels.
Gotcha. Save that information.
Okay.
Because I will need it in a second. Right after we get done. Oh shit, better not. Put it on the Discord. Okay. Alright. Yay, Exterminate! How's it going? No green screen today. Hold on, let me see if we can show Exterminate the new couch. She's sitting on it. There's the new couch. And then, shit, there's the old couch. We're rocking two couches right now. It is pretty awesome. It doesn't leave us a lot of room in the apartment. But two couches is a whole lot better than one because we can just nap in separate places. It really is. And the dog loves it. It is. It's a nice old brown number. And Ralphie loves it. We could actually put the green screen in right behind this. Well, no, not now, but we will next week. And Nerd Alert's gonna have to be next Sunday as well, and then the Sunday after that because of stand-up. Ralphie does blend in with it. Thank God he snores, so we know when he's on the couch we don't sit. But yeah, Nerd Alert's probably gonna be on Sundays for the next couple of weeks. So instead of... You are just having problems with that phone. You're just having problems with it. Alright. Let's advertise that there is, in fact, a Nerd Alert going on right now. And we'll get this started. How are you doing, Exterminate? How's the shirts? I want to know, have you washed and dried them yet? Are they good? They don't fade or anything like that? Good God. That royalty-free punk music is a little loud. Turn that down. Loving the shirt, washed and just air dried them.
Ooh.
You must really like those shirts. I don't air dry my shit at all. She air dries her shit. I don't air dry my
air
shit.
dry certain things. If it's in danger of shrinking, my nice shirts.
So, we have the unfortunate task today of trying to break down this whole Marvel Sony business. From what I've gathered, we can't really blame anybody. We'll get to all the details, everything that everybody said. We've got new TV shows coming, wrestling news, because wrestling's getting interesting. Not in the aspect of, like, here's what's going on in the storyline, but, like, could be the 90s again, and we're in for another multi-million-dollar wrestling war between two companies. Every guy knows shrinkage is real, har har har. Wife says hi to Misty. Hello. Not hi to me. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm a person too. I'm just kidding. Hello. Full breakdown of the Marvel and Sony debacle and much more. Come tune in. Hang out. She says hi to you also, LOL. She doesn't need to. I feel like I'm in y'all's lives a lot. Like, if it's not Nerd Alert, it's God of War. What?
I thought he was, sorry, I thought he was chewing on my blanket.
What's he chewing on?
He's chewing on his turtle.
He's chewing on it? Leave that dog alone. Leave that dog alone. Alright, let me get this going. So moved in a new couch. Night before, pulled somebody out of a car that crashed into our apartment complex. Not our apartment, but our apartment complex. Total fail on that dude's part. And I hurt my hip. And then the night before that, I was working out. And whatever these muscles are called in the forearms, they're really sore. I can't really fully extend them without them hurting. But no pain, no gain, as my roided up high school coaches would say. Trying to find the new Nerd Alert picture. And I can't find it. Oh, you know what? It's probably under N, because I'm a dumb ass. There it is. That royalty-free punk music makes my dick feel like concrete. Yeah, just some dude hydroplaned in the street next to our neighborhood. And I helped pretty much get him out of jail. Writers meeting. What time are you close? So you'll probably be home before I will. 'Cause I have no life. I'm done. I used to have a life. Where all I did was stream and focus. Now I hardly stream. I barely focus. And they're not even good. They're not even good. believe you. Nick Apollo, I understand.
Who the crap is that?
Nick Apollo dead? No, that's Greg Girl. Nick Apollo's not dead. Yeah, you can leave me. Nick Apollo. New York. So yeah, we'll have the green screen back up like next Sunday. Maybe sometime this week. If I find some time to stream God of War, I'll have it back up. But now we've got a couch that I can... Well, like, now we've got it where I can just move the PlayStation camera and stream old school and just lay back and be lazy. We'll have a Nerd Alert giveaway coming up. I don't know. We'll give away something. We haven't done a giveaway in a long time.
Yeah, it's time.
I think Exterminate won the Steam giveaway last time. And then someone won a PlayStation giveaway, and then they just ghosted on us. It's like they only came here for the
Oh,
giveaway.
really?
I feel like that was the case.
I don't know.
No, either.
Actually, no. Wasn't it Texas Bunny Killer? Or...
Texas Bunny Killer,
Yeah,
never
so,
mind.
Yeah, Texas Bunny Killer's regular.
I feel like, though, in one of our giveaways, we got it to someone, and then they just ghosted.
Oh, I don't know.
Because people do that. You know what? It was my Pokemon trading card game thing. I was giving away, like, a
Oh.
pack or something.
I didn't know that.
People ghost. People do that.
I mean, that's what brings people in, right? The giveaways.
That's true. We should just put giveaway right now.
We should do a giveaway.
Oh, we're gonna have some, like, football, we're gonna have a football show debuting on the channel called Armchair Gridiron. Chris is coming back!
Yeah.
So Chris and I, every week, will break down what's going on in the NFL. We're already in a fantasy league together, so we're gonna be doing our fantasy draft day of September 5th, 1 o'clock p.m. Central. Out of my own fantasy league, the Gridiron Mafia. Chris and I will be there doing commentary for the fantasy draft. Big football news: my Houston Texans starting running back Lamar Miller tore his ACL in the second play of the preseason game. And then Indianapolis Colts quarterback Andrew Luck retired at the age of 29 in a pretty much fuck this shit, I'm out type of move. So I'm glad we yeah, you're looking at me like that, like what's football, what? For someone to, you know how many people have retired at 29? Like two. Him and then Barry Sanders.
I wish I could retire at 29.
I mean, they don't retire from work, you know, they just retire from football.
But they probably have lots of money.
Not really. If you retire under the age of 35, the team has the option of getting that money back that they signed you for, but the Colts, good people, decided to let Andrew Luck keep the money.
You cannot chew on that thing. Where is your ball? Where is your ball? You cannot have that.
You're really gonna play with the dog right now? Okay.
No, he was chewing on plastic.
Just let the dog chew on, but he learns that way.
Where's your ball? If I
He
had-
learns.
I'm being mother right now.
I need you to be Misty of Nerd Alert right now. This is what the dog does. Okay, so there we go.
No, like, I didn't realize 35.
It's like 33. You got
but that's
you got to be in the last year of your contract, and you got to be a certain age.
I was gonna say, like, but that's
But the Colts are letting him keep the money. They're not asking for the money back.
such a young age.
Well, his ankle was, so he was like hurt. You sat in gum.
Yes, I did. Down that page.
Could you? Okay. This is a great time to do all this.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'm just saying, So he was out the whole 2008, the whole 2017 season with a shoulder injury, and then he was starting to have ankle and calf injuries, and he's only practiced 3 times since April, and he just became completely miserable, and was just like, fuck this, I'm out. Because he didn't want, because, you know, he wasn't living life the way he wanted to, said him, and he would rather just, like, deuce. Do his own thing. Respect. Also good for the Houston Texans because that's their rival's starting quarterback. But hey, I'm not a completely heartless bastard. Oh, you know what? Let's put up this picture instead. Alright, we got going to Twitter, and then Discord, and then we'll be on our way, people. But yeah, we were just fucking, we were exhausted. We were exhausted, Friday, or I was, at least. This one over here. Beep, 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 beep. Well, I'm just trying to lay down, you know. Also, make those bets on when Misty leaves me. Put them in the chat. Oh wait, I just... That does not sound like punk rock.
Yeah, no. It sounds like a modern elevator music. Let's put it that way.
Alright. Now Discord, and then we're good to go, guys. Look at Exterminate on our Discord. When y'all starting? Usual time. Love it. Making sure he doesn't miss an episode. We absolutely love that. Thank you. We must be like Seinfeld to Exterminate. We must be like Saturday Night Live. If she puts up with your BS this time, I don't think she'll leave you.
Oh.
And I know it. And I know it. I got the sneezes. Alright, dance to something.
Ooh. Fancy.
Yeah, it's Discord stuff. Fancy. They're ripping off a song right there. I hear that song and it's ripping off something. Sorry guys, slightly distracted.
I don't know.
I can't think of the song they're ripping off, but they're definitely ripping off something. Alright. So, we're gonna hit the intro. grabbing a tissue. We're gonna hit the intro, and then once we come in, we're gonna watch a new trailer.
Oh.
Just right off the bat, a new trailer that came out. It's just gonna be right off the bat, right off the button.
Alright.
And then when we come back, we're gonna talk about that trailer.
Alright.
And then we're gonna try to break down this whole Marvel Sony thing.
Okay.
It's gonna be an exhausting episode. But this is Season 3, Episode 13. What'd I put up here? Episode 13 of Nerd Alert.
Yes.
So, let's hit him with the intro.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is The Mandalorian. Disney dropped this out at the Disney 23 conference. So take a look and see what we got.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Don't you agree?
Y'all.
Alright.
Y'all. I don't know about y'all. But like Disney Plus now has my money. That's gonna be available first day of launch for Disney Plus. Written by Jon Favreau. You saw Gus Fring in there from Breaking Bad.
Ah!
Give me more of that.
Oh
I
my
think
gosh.
I think I saw someone get cut in half.
It's
With
like
the door?
the door, yeah, like that's my question. Is this family friendly Disney?
This won't be family friendly. This won't be friendly at all. We may have to get Disney Plus now. Well,
Yeah.
if you aren't sold yet, that's just The Mandalorian. So Jon Favreau's already writing the second season of Mandalorian. That's
Oh,
the thing.
wow.
This is a TV show. This is a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also announced at the Disney 23 conference, and we already broke it. We didn't know the exact details of it, but a couple weeks ago we told you that Ewan McGregor was reprising his Obi-Wan Kenobi role. We find out yesterday, the same day this trailer is dropped, that it is not just reprising the role for a show, he's reprising it for an Obi-Wan Kenobi show. A whole show about Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Ewan McGregor. That's coming to Disney+. We've got more stuff coming to Disney Plus today to talk about, but first, over the week, the comic book world was just absolutely we were just turned upside down when it was announced that after one round of negotiating a new contract, Marvel and Sony agreed, well, didn't really agree, but that the agreement was off, and that Spider-Man was no longer going to be in the MCU. So here's what we've gathered. Disney approached Sony, and they had an agreement that that Sony would take 90% of the profits, or 95% of the profits. Disney would take 5%. Disney approached Sony and said, hey, let's make it 50-50. Now, you can look it up online, and you'll hear different reports. You'll hear that Sony paid for all the production of the last couple Spider-Man movies. You'll hear Disney paid for the last couple you'll hear Disney paid for the production of the last couple movies. I'm a big believer that when just things are just coming out and different people are saying things, it's just total bias reporting, finger pointing going on, so we don't know who to blame. But Sony blaming Marvel, Marvel blaming Sony, all that. To me, you know, if I'm negotiating, okay, and my number's at 5, I don't take it up to 50. And I think that's what happened. I think they took it up to 50, and Sony went, what? No, let's just back out.
But, I mean, it's called negotiating. You're always going to ask for more.
Yeah, you go
for more.
Go 15.
You go high.
Go 15. Go 20%. But, and now reading reports that a lot of this had to do with someone got greedy. Someone did get greedy. Exterminate.
Yeah.
So I was just reading before we started the show that the Dark Phoenix, one of basically that X-Men movie nobody saw, had a lot to do with this. Because Disney went, hey, look how Dark Phoenix ended up. They're not in the MCU. And look what happened with that fucking movie. You want to end up like that? So, like, Disney was using Dark Phoenix as leverage.
But Sony didn't do Dark Phoenix.
But their point was that look what this movie did without our help. And then Sony went, well, look what Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse did without your help. Which is a good point. That Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, probably one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made, even though it's animated.
Wow.
They were doing a lot. They were doing a lot of terrible shit to each other. It's caused a lot of drama throughout the week. You had Stan Lee's daughter blaming Marvel and blaming Disney on this, saying that Disney was ruining her father's legacy. And then you have Tom Holland. Tom Holland doing what any kid his age does when they take sides, unfollowing Sony from all social media platforms. But then he gave a statement at the Disney 23 conference, thanking all the fans, and saying, like, no matter what happens, he's very appreciative, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then another thing about this deal was because the sides split, thank you all, please stop paying me, right?
Please keep paying me.
Please keep paying me. And then another thing, Kevin Feige, out as producer. That was one of the terms and conditions, as long as they agreed. So you look this up on the internet, you're gonna see this reasoning and that reasosoning, but no one really knows the whole story.
Like Kevin Feige, supposedly at first it was his workload.
It was his workload. Yeah, Sony came out first and said because he wasn't going to be involved anymore, they're backing out. And then Disney came out and said, no, they didn't agree to our number, so we pulled Kevin Feige out. And it's just a bunch of bullshit.
And, well, now he's like, well, Kevin Feige was saying, telling Entertainment Weekly, oh, this has gone farther than I thought it would. 2 standalone movies, Spider-Man character in 2 standalone movies, and 3 MCU movies.
Pretty much, yeah.
So,
yeah, you got it right there.
So it's gone farther than, as far as it could, or further than we thought.
And then how Far From Home ends. What really sucks is how Far From Home ended with the post-credit scenes, and that was going to bring in a different a whole different aspect to the Spider-Man movie universe with everybody knowing it was Spider-Man. You had J.K. Simmons coming back as J. Jonah Jameson, and it just really sucked. Now I think they're gonna get this deal worked out.
Yeah.
I think that they're doing a lot of just throwing shit into the media, getting us all stirred up so the contract negotiations can speed up and someone can get their number or someone can get what they want. It's studios being studios.
There's too much money.
Too much
money.
There's way too much.
In it, you know, for those parties, for it to go kaput.
I mean, and Disney does have a point. Look what we've done with every franchise to this point. We took Guardians of the Galaxy, an unknown comic book franchise, and made Guardians of the Galaxy a household name. When a Guardians of the Galaxy movie comes out, it's a weekend blockbuster for at least a month. Okay? Look what they did with Ant-Man. Alright, some people hail Ant-Man 2 as probably the best individual Marvel movie out of them all.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I mean, Ant-Man and Wasp is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
And on paper, Ant-Man's not supposed to be good. Really, it's not. Look at, oh, he can shrink. That's it. That's all Ant-Man's power is he can shrink.
But it's, like, it's creative because, like, he's, like, flying at someone and then he becomes giant.
Well, but,
you know?
Still never seen any of the Ant-Man movies. Exterminate, you gotta hop on that. And that's the thing, another thing with the Ant-Man movies is, there's Hank Pym, and Hank Pym, in the comic book, played by, Michael Douglas, but they don't really get into Hank Pym's character. Hank Pym in the comic books was a wife beater. Disney somehow got around that, still produced 2 movies, still produced 2 blockbusters without anybody researching that shit.
But it probably wasn't a big deal because they just skirted around the dark part of it, you know?
Oh, they did, but
that's Disney for you.
But they shut the comic book fans up who could have gone on Twitter and been like, Hank Pym's character. But, I mean, look what Disney has done. This is so it's all gonna settle because it's gonna settle because Sony knows that they're in trouble. Like, they have all these characters in the Spider-Man line, but they know they can't produce good Spider-Man movies. They know they can't. They have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's it. But they don't want to do animated Spider-Man movies. They want live action. They want to be their own franchise. So I think Sony's going to have to look at itself in the mirror, and maybe you give them 50. I mean, if you're going to make billions and billions of dollars, 50-50, you make $4 billion, you still keep $2 billion. Yeah, you heard it here first.
They gotta make their money back.
I mean,
they gotta make their money back.
Spider-Man in the MCU is gonna make billions. What they were leading up to with Samuel L. Jackson and the Kree and all that.
Yeah.
They gotta get it figured out. Because...
I mean, I don't know. Right now, I mean, it's a good investment. Spider-Man continuing on with the MCU. He's Tom Holland is the youngest cast member. He's got more years in him.
Well, Tom Holland's dad even commented that he thinks Tom Holland will remain in the MCU whether he's Spider-Man or not. First of all, Tom Holland's dad, shut your fucking mouth. Alright, parents need to shut up. Okay, first of all,
Holland's a 21-year-old.
Exactly, he a grown-ass man. He a grown-ass man, and you a grown-ass man.
You just want to take his money.
You want to Leanne Rhymes him. I hope you get that reference. Okay.
I do.
Okay. But he a grown-ass... he a grown-ass man. If he was like 14, if he was like Millie Bobby Brown's age, chime the fuck in. But, anyway, moving on... Marvel did throw us classic Marvel, classic Disney. They found a way for us to shut up about this whole thing by releasing this news that also on Disney Plus we're gonna have Miss Marvel, we're gonna have She-Hulk, and we're gonna have Moon Knight.
She-Hulk. What is Moon Knight? I don't know.
Moon Knight is like a ghost superhero. Okay.
Okay.
Kind of like Marvel's version of Batman. More gruesome, more gritty. But this is why, but Keanu Reeves, it was, we reported this a couple weeks ago we reported this, Marvel's been in talks with Keanu Reeves to either play Adam Warlock, which doesn't look like that's gonna happen, because Zac Efron is favored for that role, or fucking Moon Knight. And if you get a Moon Knight TV show starring Keanu Reeves with that Matrix 4 news just hitting, everybody's going to be purchasing Disney Plus. I mean, Moon Knight starring Keanu Reeves. You don't even need to know who Moon Knight is. You know who Keanu Reeves is, but if you know what both are, holy shit. And then you have She-Hulk, which that could go, I don't know. I don't know how She-Hulk could go. For those who don't know She-Hulk, it's pretty self-explanatory. It is well, in some comic books, Betty, Bruce's love interest, got her own radiation thing and became the Hulk. In other comic books, it's different women, but it's basically that. It's basically a female going through the same type of radiation Bruce Banner did and becomes a Hulk. Internet nerds are already, misogynistic internet nerds are already tearing it apart. There can't be a female Hulk. We can't have a live-action female Hulk. You mentioned Millie and just glossed over your usual rant. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Exterminate. Drake was grooming Millie Bobby Brown. Thank you. We gotta mention it every time. By the way, Millie Bobby Brown's dad had no problem with a 33-year-old man texting his daughter. Anyway. There we go. No. And then we have Miss Marvel. And I thought Miss Marvel was being portrayed in Captain Marvel by Annette Bening.
Yeah.
I guess this is a prequel to that. I guess this is about Annette Bening's character. Maybe TV show. But they said that Miss Marvel will be involved in the movies. So we are going to see this character some way, shape, or form in the Phase 4 movies. And these are just 3 of the new shows.
Nice.
Now, they also gave us movie posters for 2 shows we know of that are coming out. Mm-hmm. And it's very telling. So we have WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now let's break these down real quick. You can already
that's not Bucky from
that
the
is
movies.
Bucky. That is he cut his hair.
Oh.
So it makes you wonder, when is that set in? What is the Winter Soldier? All that. WandaVision, I know. WandaVision, whoa indeed. As soon as I saw the WandaVision thing, I immediately thought of the Eisner Award-winning comic by Tom King, The Visions. And it looks like it's going to be an adaptation of that. Because in The Visions, Vision has started a family. It's kind of got like a 1950s, 1960s, down-home America family feel. And that poster does too. But if you notice, and we're just going to... Let me see if I can... No, I can't mark it. If you notice to that the husband's... Top left of the husband, you see a shadow of Scarlet Witch and how she looks in the comic. This picture is much bigger. Basically, we had to get these pictures from camera phones live at the convention. But yeah, Bucky's got short hair. WandaVision is probably going to be Scarlet Witch, just not being in the right reality. But yeah, these shows, again, coming out on Disney+.
I'm curious because didn't you say, like, according to the comic books, the Scarlet Witch, like, could have killed Thanos all by herself?
Yep.
Because she's, like, one of the most powerful...
Scarlet Witch is the daughter of Magneto. Yes.
What?
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are the children of Magneto. They couldn't mention it in the Avengers movies.
That sucks.
Because the X-Men belong to Fox. But that's who they are. So when we were watching Endgame and Scarlet Witch just goes apeshit crazy on Thanos when we were in the theater, that's why I was freaking out. Yeah. Because that was the first time Scarlet Witch was actually showing her powers and she was pissed off. Yeah. And like that's something her father would do. Magneto, when he was pissed off, he would just fucking tear into somebody. And I thought that was going to be the end of the movie right there. I thought Scarlet Witch was going to just tear him a new asshole and rip him to pieces. Yeah. Didn't, but it's alright. I enjoyed the ending of Endgame, but I could, if Scarlet Witch just tore off his limbs and shit, I would have been fine with that. I would have been fine. Instead, we got like an old Captain America, like, I don't want to save the world anymore. And that was fine too. But Falcon and Winter Soldier, And WandaVision, they also gave us a movie poster to Black Widow. Looks the same. I don't care about Scarlett Johansson, guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
I don't know, like, seeing her be, like, I felt like she's always been kind of like a sideline character, you know? And
She doesn't have any powers.
She doesn't have any powers.
She doesn't have any powers.
And Scarlett, but
that
the
dude's
thing
got
is,
wings.
Scarlett Johansson she's a better actress than that.
Oh.
You know, she was in Woody Allen's film Match Point. I loved her in that film. I'm trying to think.
Scarlett Johansson, you are getting too much credit, I feel, from
I
Disney.
think she's a good actress.
I think she's alright.
You know what I mean?
I think she's the
Like,
Jason Momoa of female actresses.
She was in freaking Lost in Translation.
Oh my god, why
She
do people
was
bring
in
up that
Match
movie?
Point.
Why do people bring up Lost in
It
Translation?
was a good
Like,
film.
how? It was if you want to take a nap.
It's depicting her loneliness. Like, her loneliness, his loneliness.
The Falcon can fly. Isn't that it for him, Mr. Hawkeye hater? You? No. Falcon is now Captain America. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the Falcon does other things than fly.
The Falcon.
And Hawkeye, will hate on Hawkeye all day. Jeremy Renner's got a band. I'm sorry.
Jeremy. You know what I found out?
What would you find out?
I didn't put two and two together. He actually played Jeffrey Dahmer he played Jeffrey Dahmer in a movie called Dahmer, independent film.
It must not have been memorable because I never knew that.
It was independent. I think it's on Netflix. I watched it it was, I don't know, 2005. I watched it it came out in 2002. Anyway, Jeremy Renner
he's in a band.
Played Jeffrey Dahmer.
They're in a Jeep commercial.
I haven't seen this commercial.
Well, we have cable again, so we're gonna watch cable, and yeah, he'll pop up in a Jeep commercial. Him and his band. He's got like a flashy jacket. Anyways, so Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision. Nothing new on the low key front. Nothing new. So we still got to look at that terrible graphic, terrible Loki logo.
Wait, which have we? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The one that looks really comical.
Yeah.
This would be a perfect segue, though.
To
heels.
That's what I'm gonna get to. Hold on, we're gonna get into the wrestling war next. So AEW, All Elite Wrestling, owned by the Khan family. The patriarch of the Khan family is the billionaire owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. His son Tony is running operations of All Elite Wrestling, with the executive vice president Cody Rhodes, son of legendary wrestler Dusty Rhodes. Confused yet? Probably. They've gotten a lot of They've gotten a lot of build-up off of their Bleacher Report Live events, and the signing of Chris Jericho, and the signing of Dean Ambrose, changing him to Jon Moxley. The fact that they have the original New Japan Bullet Club in there makes it really nice. They announced that they were going to be on TNT here in October, which that would be a first. TNT has not had wrestling on its channel in 18 years. Its last time doing it was WCW, and it nearly put WWF out of business. So they announced that they're going to be on Wednesday nights on October on TNT. Vince McMahon, losing ratings, losing attendance, makes his former rivals runners of his shows, with Paul Heyman running Monday Night Raw and Eric Bischoff, former president of WCW, running SmackDown. AEW announces a Wednesday show. Everybody goes, "Phew." Vince, meh. Exactly. Well, here's the thing, guys. An announcement last week. WWE announced that their developmental brand, NXT, that you could only see on the WWE Network, is not only moving to the USA Network on Wednesdays, but will be increased to 2 hours in the same time slot that All Elite Wrestling will run. Which means that Vince McMahon, who always tells the media, "Oh, I'm not worried about competition," is in fact, indeed, fearful of competition.
I don't think that's gonna make it.
I don't think
NXT
this
any
is
better.
this is
I think
not a
it's
good move.
I think it's gonna make NXT worse.
It is. It is. This is one. Everybody in the WWE universe loves NXT. It's like a special thing. You have
Yeah.
to order the network. It's got its own fan base. It's totally different than what you see on Raw and
Yes,
SmackDown.
exactly.
And now you want to move that, take it away from like the diehard WWE fans. And look, all the momentum, that was the word I was looking for earlier. All the momentum that AEW has, it is just like this brute fucking thing crashing through every wall. The first thing you're going to throw at it is NXT, and I'm sorry, NXT does not have Chris Jericho. NXT does not have Jon Moxley, formerly Dean Ambrose. Plus, the first episode of AEW promises 2 surprise wrestlers teaming with Chris Jericho.
Oh.
Very, very reminiscent of WCW Monday Nitro. Back when WCW Monday Nitro announced that there were going to be 2 surprise wrestlers, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, and Kevin Nash Diesel showed up and changed fucking wrestling forever when Hulk Hogan joined them at Bash on the Beach, became the NWO, and then that's when WWF's ratings started tanking. So here we go. That's not all, though. That is not all. So when Cody Rhodes was in WWE, he became great friends with Arrow star Stephen Amell. Now, Arrow is coming to an end. Stephen Amell has shown himself that he can carry a TV series and was approached to do a wrestling TV series called Heels, which will be on Stars. It's about 2 brothers in one company vying to take control over their father's wrestling company in Georgia. Well, not only is Stephen Amell going to be in it, but he's bringing Cody Rhodes along to play the other brother. Cody Rhodes has already done some work on Arrow as like a villain or what have you. In fact, this is from a press conference of when they were talking about the new season of Arrow, or that season of Arrow. The writer, which you have the name of.
Oh gosh, sorry, my brain. Michael Waldron.
Michael Waldron, who is writing, the head writer of the Low-Key Disney Plus show.
He's executive producer.
He's executive
on Loki.
Executive producer on Loki, and he's writing this.
He's writing this, and he is executive producer on Loki. It says 1 episode.
8 episodes. There's gonna be 8 episodes of Heels on Stars. And the showrunner is Mike O'Malley. Now, we were trying to confirm if it was like Mike O'Malley from Nickelodeon Guts and the ever infamous Mike O'Malley show that lasted 1 episode on NBC. But you also might know him as the father of the gay kid in Glee. We don't know if that's the same Mike O'Malley.
Don't know.
But that's who the showrunner is. And so help me God if that's the fucking show. If this is the same Mike O'Malley, 1, I'm going to watch it. But 2, I'm not gonna give it a long life expectancy.
I'm actually impressed though. Like looking at Michael Waldron's credits, he was like a writer's production assistant on like, was it Community? He was like a writer. Okay, so he's written an episode of Loki. He wrote Harmon Quest. I don't know what that is. He was a writer's production assistant and / production staff on Community. And he was a production assistant on Rick and Morty.
So that dude's resume.
I'm cheering for this guy.
And you gotta think with the success of Glow, I think series about professional wrestling now, it's more open. I think Hollywood's finally just starting to discover that the wrestling world in itself is very interesting and a very unique story. I mean, there are dudes I know down here that are trying stand-up comedy that were wrestling in the Sportatorium days, and they got the best fucking,
that's crazy,
wildest, craziest fucking stories you will ever hear. And when they say they know somebody, they do. Like one of my friends, older gentleman, Chris Germany, wrestled on Sunday Night Heat, on WWF Sunday Night Heat. Wrestled Albert and Draws. Anyway, he was like, yeah, I know Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's fucking in his phone. In his fucking phone.
That's super
Can't
cool.
fucking call him up like that. But they all have interesting stories. So, this would be. I think this is going to be a really interesting series. I hope it's not that. I hope it's not Michael Malley. I hope it's not the Michael Malley we're thinking of.
No way. This show's supposed to be like a drama.
Yeah, it's going to be a drama.
It's a drama, yeah. So I doubt it.
But
I don't
Stephen
know.
Amell and Cody Rhodes are going to play rival brothers trying to take over their father's independent wrestling company in Georgia. I'm sure, I don't know the setting, but be it that they're talking about a territory and they're talking about family. First of all, they've already got the shtick of wrestling right there. So back in the territory days, it was all about families. So you had the Harts in Canada, you had the Von Erichs in Texas, you had the Guerreros out in El Paso. So they're doing that. So I'm thinking it's probably set in the 70s and 80s when Ric Flair's traveling around the country doing cocaine and hookers.
Ooh.
So I think there's going to be a lot of cocaine and hookers in this show.
I'm like, well, if
I don't think there's going to be hookers,
who would
but I think
play
there's going to be
Ric-
drug use.
Who would play with Ric Flair?
Only Ric Flair could play Ric Flair. I don't care how old he is when he shows up in a TV show. If he's playing himself, I'm interested. You know, Ric Flair threw out the first pitch at a Houston Astros game recently,
No,
and
I
he
didn't
got
know
a standing ovation because he's a fucking nature boy,
Oh,
Ric
that's
Flair.
super cool. But I remember when I watched wrestling when I was little, I never liked Ric Flair. He must have been a bad guy in the 90s in WCW.
He wasn't just the bad guy; he was the guy. He was the first bad guy that you loved to hate.
Yeah.
That's who he was. Ric Flair is Ric Flair. There's a reason I have a shirt of him, because Ric Flair is the shit. And also Netflix announced that Kevin Smith will be doing the show running of the new He-Man Master of the Universe series.
Live action?
I don't know. Did not say if it was
Don't
live
know.
action or animated, but Kevin Smith is in charge, and
That is crazy.
we like to say Kevin Smith is a friend of the show, even though we met him one time, and he
We
probably
met him one time.
he doesn't know this show. But friend of the show, Kevin Smith, big congratulations. Slated for a late 2020 release. So I'm assuming it might be animated if it's coming out so soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine that would be super expensive if it were a
Mhm.
live action show.
No.
Based on what I remember of He-Man. We had the toys. My brother and I had the toys when we were growing up, and we watched.
Did you ever watch the cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did
He-Man,
you like the cartoon?
She-Ra, yeah, I loved She-Ra. She's
Oh,
my favorite.
look at Misty announcing all these characters.
Yeah. I was
Might have to end this episode of Nerd Alert early because I'm turned on. But yeah, sorry about that, y'all. Again, apologies. We gotta always apologize on this show. But yeah, Kevin Smith running a He-Man Master of the Universe show running. Also probably writing a couple episodes himself. Also, Jay and Silent Bob reboot coming out in November. No Clerks 3 yet. Clerks 3 undetermined. But yeah, Kevin Smith's getting some more work.
Y'all should watch, if you haven't, y'all should watch, y'all should watch Tusk.
Tusk.
That was
It was
a film that Kevin Smith did.
It was good. I liked it. I'd say
I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna say you should watch it.
I'd say it's
It's
pretty good. It's good. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, if you're looking for some stuff in the Kevin Smith vault and you haven't watched it yet, you should
Yeah,
watch
you know that
Tusk.
guy in Tusk. That guy in Tusk passed away.
Oh, no way. I
Yeah,
didn't know
he was
that.
also in Red State.
I've never seen Red State. I
Red
need to actually
State.
watch that.
That guy from Tusk in Red State plays like the.
So you play a villain in
He
that one
plays
too?
the villain in that one because you know he had that creepy, intense voice and everything.
Creepy old
But
guy
he is
vibe.
he is no longer with us. So
That guy that was in Tusk.
yeah, that guy that was in Tusk. See, I'm not trying to spoil anything because they haven't seen it.
Yeah, I was gonna say his name. I was gonna look up his name because we're just saying that guy who was
That
in
guy.
Tusk died.
That guy. I mean, you could watch it and be like, oh, they're talking about that guy. Because he plays the villain in Tusk and he plays the villain in Red State. And we're going to get to our what segment in a second as soon as Misty finds this name.
Michael Parks.
Michael Parks. Michael Parks is no longer with us. R.I.P. Michael Parks. Still mentioning you. He died like, I want to say a year and a half ago.
I did not
maybe
know
2 years
that.
ago. But anyway, so what It's gotta be Marvel and Sony. This Marvel versus Sony mess, we'll just go back to it right here. That is our what. What are they thinking?
Moolah.
But here's the thing. Like, if you're gonna make billions... Like, okay, so Sony would make... So let's just say... Let's just say for whatever reason, Spider-Man is in the next Black Panther movie. They announced Black Panther 2. That's coming in 2021. Yeah. They announced that. Let's just say Spider-Man's in that.
Yeah.
That would mean Sony would take 50% of the profits of Black Panther 2. That's an automatic blockbuster because it features the Spider-Man character. This is part of the agreement.
I don't think that's what that should be.
This is what Disney pitched. Disney pitched, hey, anything that Spider-Man touches, you get 50% of, and anything that we have in Spider-Man, we get 50% of. So they are splitting profits. Disney, it's actually a pretty good deal. Whereas before, it was just like, we'll take 5% of any Spider-Man movie, and we can put Spider-Man in our movies without having to pay you, without you having to make money. So Disney was just like, hey, cheers, and Sony was just like, hold up, maybe that was Sony's take. Too good to be true.
Yeah.
You know, if I was Sony, I'd be like, whoa, hold on, you're on to something. There's a catch here.
Yeah.
Maybe. But what are they thinking? Why are they going to do this to us? They gave us such greatness with Homecoming and Far From Home.
I think they just don't want to be... Sony doesn't want to be pushed around.
Well, I'm sorry. It's Disney.
And because they have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse under their belt, they're like... They're getting some balls, you know?
Yes, one good movie with a Post Malone soundtrack.
Yeah.
And everybody...
I don't know. It's speculation. It's definitely speculation.
Here's the thing. These companies have to start bowing down to Disney. I'm sorry. We're going to have to bow down to the little rat. All right? Look, I don't like Disney because they were founded by a homophobic anti-Semite. But the homophobic anti-Semite's gone now. And now other homophobic anti-Semites are in his place. I don't know that for sure. But their Disney Plus streaming service is going to be like $5.99, $6.99, something affordable.
Yeah.
It's got all these shows. We just showed everything it's going to have within the next 2 years. Starting in November, you're going to be able to watch something new of the Star Wars universe.
And will we be able to watch like movies too, like
that's the thing.
On demand. We can
all
watch
the Marvel movies, all the Disney movies, anything from National Geographic, ESPN.
National Geographic.
I mean,
Crazy.
who doesn't love animal documentaries from National Geographic? Disney is taking over the fucking universe, the world universe, galaxy. Disney owns me. Disney just bought me yesterday.
Where's my money?
I know, you don't get any. We're not officially married. I took it all in. By the way, I'm leaving with the dog. No, I'm kidding.
I get to keep the couch.
You get to keep the couches. Because the other studios were fucking it up. The other studios were fucking it up. Disney is pretty much the only studio that is correctly making superhero movies. I mean, think about that for a second. Sony had Into the Spider-Verse. That was it. But then those 2 previous Spider-Man movies with Andrew Garfield, you don't even fucking remember them, do you?
I never even watched them.
You never even watched them? You don't even remember seeing the trailers, do you?
No, I don't. I was working 2 jobs. I didn't have internet at that time.
Okay, we don't have to go to your backstories.
You're rude.
I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it either. Disney's doing a good job. But part-time, if someone was like, hey man, I'm about to make like $8 billion, you want 50% of it? You'd be like, fuck yeah, I want 50% of it. And they're gonna make a lot of fucking money here. And that was another thing, the agreement also had, probably the streaming service part of it. Like, hey, we put Spider-Man on our streaming service, 50 fucking percent. Sony was already given the merchandising. That was another part of the agreement. So they went, hey, you can have all the merchandise, so any little kid that buys a Spider-Man t-shirt, I buy a Spider-Man costume for Halloween, all goes to Sony. I think Sony was just caught off guard, and they were like, this is too good to be true. Did you see that someone put a candle memorial at yes for Tom Holland? Yeah.
I did not see that.
No, fans have been going apeshit, and fans are the worst part about this, because we get our information, and then throughout this whole thing, we got finger pointed over here, finger pointed over there.
Yeah,
I don't know whose fault it is.
I think time will tell what's going on.
I think this gets settled.
Time will tell.
This gets settled because there's so much money possibly to make.
Exactly.
And honestly, if Sony doesn't go with it and tries to make their own thing, I think if it doesn't get settled this week and Sony makes their own Spider-Man movies, it is going to take the failure of those Spider-Man movies to sit down again and renegotiate with Disney. I mean, we actually can't help any of this. Actually, we are actually willing to boycott something, which we aren't. Yeah, that's another thing. We'll be like, oh, let's boycott fucking Marvel or boycott Sony. But you know, as soon as they release a new thing, we go out and see it. We do. Because Aidens and Coopers love Spider-Man toys. Aidens and Coopers.
Oh, I love it.
I love. Those are all the kids now that I meet are named Aiden and Cooper. That's hilarious. Or Bryce. Bryce. Have you met my son, Bryce?
Bryson.
He's gonna be on the lacrosse team and rape somebody when he gets older.
Wow.
Not saying all Bryces.
Wow.
Not saying all Bryces.
I have a friend named Bryce, okay?
Do they watch the show? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Fuck them indeed, part-time. Fuck them. But yeah, I don't. But what are they thinking? Is it? I guess it's money. It has to be money.
Money, politics.
And then where's
I don't know.
Tom Holland's dad? What the fuck are you thinking? Shut your ass up. You are living the lavish life. It's not like you were a football player and you taught your kid how to play football. No, that kid freaking has been making you money now for a good while. You hadn't had to teach that kid shit. So shut your ass up, Tom Holland's dad. And then Stan Lee's daughter. What do you mean they're ruining your dad's legacy? They're bringing... First of all, they put your dad in every single fucking movie that of characters Jack Kirby fucking created. They put your dad in those movies, alright? They haven't been tarnishing your dad's legacy. Exactly, part-time. Tell that to Jack Kirby. Exactly. Because us true believers know who the real fucking creator of the Fantastic Four was. Actually, that might have been Stan Lee. But Spider-Man was created by Jack Kirby. That's for fucking... I don't know what Stan Lee's daughter's thinking. Isn't she like 56? That bitch old anyway. You old anyway, bitch. Yeah, but F sucks Brown Star and you know it. No, it does. It does. It does. It's just everybody's waging in on an opinion. You got Ryan Reynolds. And Ryan Reynolds has the right to be mad.
If you pull Mighty and try to argue with me, I'm out.
Oh, no, I'm not arguing with you. No. This is what are they thinking? No. No, I don't argue. I don't... See, I argue with Mighty because it's fun, but, like, most of the time, Jessica Alba, though. Okay, Misty's right here. I can't talk about Jessica Alba. Oh, me too. It's fun to argue with Mighty, but I'm not arguing. No, fan. The thing is, what I was saying, you understood what I was saying. His neutral is debate. Ryan Reynolds, I'd say if anybody has the right to say anything, it would be Ryan Reynolds, because now this... Because it means Spider-Man no longer in the MCU. Well, where does this leave Deadpool? Where does this leave Deadpool? Ryan Reynolds was really excited to get Deadpool into the MCU. This whole Spider-Man thing was kind of like a bridge to get Deadpool into the MCU. And now, who knows? Who knows what Ryan Reynolds is going to do?
I think they'll come to some sort of agreement.
Also,
like
the X-Men. Of course, X-Men's owned by Fox, but again... they have a mutual agreement with Fox. Does this ruin all the other agreements? This could totally fuck up. But Disney, I feel, if they can make Guardians of the Galaxy into household names, they're going to make Eternals into household names. They're taking these little-ass comic books and making them into household names. I don't think... And that's another thing. Even if they don't get Spider-Man, they got the X-Men multiverse right fucking there. Mm-hmm. Not to mention Blade. Not to mention Black Panther 2... All this shit, that's let's go back to it. All these that Disney Marvel announced. Look at this. Disney Plus. Disney's gonna be fine. But like you said, no one likes to be bossed around by the fucking rat. They're gonna have to. Because Disney Plus is not only just gonna be Superman shows, it's gonna superhero shows, it's gonna be Star Wars shows, it's gonna be everything out of the Disney Vault. Plus those live action remakes I don't know why they're making. First of all, the Lady and the Tramp live action remake.
No.
Something is wrong with y'all. Y'all be tearing up over dogs kissing and shit with spaghetti. Did you see that? They reenacted that with the live action of the dogs with spaghetti and kissing on the mouth. And you fucking these dog people on Facebook. Oh my god, it's so cute. Something is fucking wrong with y'all. That is porno. That might as well be the dogs fucking.
I'm sorry. I grew up with the cartoons, so I would be okay with having the cartoons available to watch.
Oh, the cartoons will be available.
If I'm in a mood, I'm like, I'd watch Fox and the Hound, Robin Hood. Come on.
I think about Scarlet Witch a lot. I'd kiss young Olsen spaghetti with my mouth. Okay, part-time. Okay, I mean, earmuffs. Can you earmuff it? Can you earmuff it just one bit? Just one bit? One bit? You're going to the other room? I would too, part-time. Up top. I was just showing him.
I don't even know who the crap that is. It doesn't matter.
I was just showing him a new trailer.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
But I'm owed an apology by Disney. She kind of looks like an alien, but I'm like, dude, she looks better than her sisters, Mary Kate and Ashley. That's who that girl is. She's the younger sister of the.
Oh,
Of the Olsen twins.
I don't think she's.
Those Olsen twins look like skeletons. Yeah. But Disney does owe me an apology, because when I was growing up, or not growing up, whatever it was, they would say, oh, get Beauty and the Beast, or get Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, before it goes into the Disney Vault forever.
Yes.
Now here I am at 32, and now all of them are going to be available to me for $5.99 a month.
We had all of those on VHS.
Yeah.
Like, my grandpa actually, had to find a VHS copy of The Little Mermaid because some little girl in his neighborhood wanted it for Christmas. Like, oh my god, it was a big deal. What?
I think Part-Time's imagining himself as Vision. Oh, Papa's got to make a baby battle. Part-Time, we're almost out anyway. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you on this special Sunday edition of Nerd Alert. But no, go ahead.
I was just saying, at one time, copies of certain Disney movies were really hard to find.
Yeah, or when they were putting them out on DVDs, get them before they're in the vault forever. Bambi.
They did that to Bambi a long time ago.
They did it to Lion King.
I remember they did it to Lion King.
They did it to Lion King.
I grew up watching all those cartoons. I wouldn't mind watching them again.
So if everybody's making money, what are they thinking? I don't know. I think it's just the competitive nature of movie studios in general. But anyways, that does it for today's Nerd Alert. We will be back here next week, episode 14. Thanks to Part-Time Exterminate for sticking around the whole stream. And for all you watching on our YouTube or on demand on Twitch, again, we will not be on this Friday. We will be on Sunday. Because we figured when I have stand-up weekends, it's just best to do the show on Sunday instead of Friday. That way I'm not racing against time. It'll affect the quality of the show if I'm racing against time, and then I gotta be out the door. Yeah. Especially this weekend, because we're going to Houston, our hometown. We're gonna go see some of my friends. I didn't enjoy it. I wouldn't enjoy the stand-up either. Okay, Part-Time. No, it's cool. No, this is just some motherfucker, lives in a 3-story house.
What?
Lives in a 3-story house. Has beautiful children. I don't know. He's just being a sarcastic asshole. But anyway, so
I take a fire pole downstairs.
He takes a fire pole downstairs, and while he takes it, that song, We Want the Funk, that song plays while he goes down the fire pole. Gotta have that funk. Oh.
I have a dumb waiter.
That's when that's a thing, and then you rope it down to the first story.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably does have one because he lives in the fucking Clue mansion. I just thought of Clue Mansion. Anyways. So, yeah. So, for the next, like 3 or 4 episodes,
Yeah.
we'll be going on Sunday. Your mom did it with the dildo in the hallway. And she's dead. No, I'm just messing with
Oh, come on. I didn't even post it.
Well, that's why we're low viewership, ladies and gentlemen. That's
I
our
didn't
low
even-
viewership. Misty didn't even
Dang.
hit the post button. Well, now we know who to blame. Show's canceled. But anyways,
Oh, man.
we hope we broke it down for you nice and love you too, part-time. I hope we broke that down, that Marvel Sony situation for you as best as we could, and that you understand fully what's going on, kinda. I mean, we kinda don't. But the next 4 episodes are gonna be on Sunday. Big thank you to Exterminate and Part-Time for coming in here, joking around with us. We are gonna go work out now, take our Pokemon Go walks. We're gonna walk 2 miles, and then we're gonna go do some grocery shopping. We'll have the green screen back next week. We put in a new couch, and we didn't feel like putting up the green screen, or I didn't feel like putting up the green screen. It takes a lot of work. But anyway, for Nerd Alert, Season 3, Episode 13. Is it 13?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Dan.
I'm Misty.
You guys have a great Sunday. Have a great work week. And much love. Let's leave them on the Red Nebula.